North Koreans reportedly use crystal meth as casually as cigarettes, and are shipping the drug to China.
Here's a summary of the article.
North Koreans use crystal meth casually, trafficking drugs to China. Business Insider app photo, Lee Jin-man in North Korea. Crystal meth isn't recognized as a dangerous drug like it is in the rest of the world. Methamphetamine is much more common there, where North Koreans inject or snort the drug as casually as they might smoke a cigarette, according to the New York Times. Meth, until recently, has been largely seen inside North Korea as a kind of very powerful energy drug, something like Red Bull, amplified. Andrei Lankoff, a North Korean expert at Kookmin University in South Korea, told the New York Times. Around the mid-2000s, North Korea ramped down its official methamphetamine manufacturing and trafficking operations, according to the New York Times. For as long as drug use does not pose a challenge to the regime, but instead dulls the wills and minds of the North Korean people, the government tacitly allows it to go on, despite the tremendous mental and physical health challenges it creates. Greg Scarlatoiu, the executive director of the Committee for Human Rights in North Korea, told the New York Times. In 2010, China seized $60 million worth of drugs sent from North Korea that year. Evidence from my interviews with people involved in the manufacturing and distribution of methamphetamine made inside North Korea consistently indicates that the precursor chemicals are coming from China via cross-border illicit trading and smuggling networks.
This post received a score of 10,233, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
If I lived in North Korea, I'd probably do meth as well.
Dennis Rodman doesn't even need to live there to do meth. Dennis Rodman claims to be over a year sober.
Good for him. I hope so.
OAP, there goes gravity.
Back to reality.
You'd be surprised how something that keeps you from feeling your bodily processes shutting down due to starvation would become a welcome comfort. Not saying it isn't dangerous or justifying it in any way, but there are NKs over there eating grass just to have a full belly.
Check out a book called Escape from Camp 14. It's about a man who was born in a NK prison camp, and he talks a lot about starvation. One thing that stood out was when he said he used to go through piles of cow poop looking for undigested kernels of corn to eat. Imagine being that hungry.
I've read it. Hearing his cellmate quietly talk about cooked food on the outside was the inspiration for his entire escape.
And then he ended up using that guy's dead body to escape basically. So fucked.
Well, I'm not reading that book.
You really should, it's an interesting read. You just have to remember that he's a really unreliable narrator and has admitted it, but that's kind of understandable considering he managed to escape a North Korean labor camp and suffered a huge amount of trauma in the process.
I definitely believe him when he confessed that he gave up his parents to be murdered so that he could get more rations.
Holy shit, it is a worker's paradise.
You can bang out a 40 hours work week in a couple of days on meth. You've then got 5 days to yourself to smoke more meth. Awesome.
Something tells me these guys aren't doing 40-hour work weeks. According to the article, they're unemployed. Which is why they need to resort to making meth. The damn commute to Pyongyang is a bitch, so they like the convenience of working from home. Then they give all the meth they make as a gift to their families at New Year. All of this is in the article, so it must be true. I mean, I'm just sure this is exactly what's happening over there. I read a book published by a DPRK defector about 4 years ago that stated that anyone from teen to elderly were using meth. I imagine that with such a black market and horrible government, the use of meth has increased even more since then.
Opium Wars 3, it's a huge meth.
Starring Mike Tyson.
Tython.
Traring.
Now Kith.
Well, it doesn't feel like you're starving if you have no appetite.
Ain't gonna need to use those teeth anytime soon either, so no worries when they fall out.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by SMMRY.com, without any human intervention.